Hey, where'd that hammer go? You know where the hammer is that you were smashing with?
Yeah.
Can you bring it to me?
Yeah.
Need the hammer for Daddy?
Thank you. What's up, guys? Welcome to Built. My name is Caleb and this is our $3,000 budget Corolla. We are on our third video of this series, so if you didn't see the first two, go check those out. The first one, we built custom super wide low offset wheels for $400. And in the second one, we built a custom coilover suspension system. So this thing's wide, it sits really low, and you might think the next thing that we needed to do is fender flares. And you would be right if they had come in the mail, but we are still waiting on them to get here. They should be here later this week. So we're gonna buy ourselves some time and fix some other stuff that needs tending to. We've got some rust on this car, we've got some dents on this car, and the bumpers aren't the coolest thing in the world. So we're gonna see if we can solve that problem today. Let's do it. All right, this thing is already looking so much better. Now, I understand that bumpers are there for a reason. It's so you don't trash your car if you do bump into someone. So we may end up doing some sort of custom bent bumper on our tubing bender. I think that'd be pretty cool. We can run it real low profile, kind of underneath this. I think that's what we're gonna do. But that's at Chase's, so I'll have to go over there and bend it up. So for now, we're gonna keep moving forward like it is. And I found something awesome. This is the front valence off my brother's 86 4Runner. So, for you guys that weren't here yet, I redid my brother's 4Runner and ended up putting new bumpers on it and pulled this valence off the car after painting it. That's why it's blue. And I think we're gonna be able to use this on the Corolla, which is just awesome. Mount it up right there. I mean, it's really close. We could section the center out and probably get this thing to work. I just gotta figure out if I want it to, you know? I'm gonna do this. I think it'd be cool. I can't tell if it looks good from where I'm at. So I'm gonna find a way to hang this up here so I can step back and look at it. My thought is section the center and then pull this in to kind of hug that side over there and do the same on the other, and then weld them together in the middle. I think that's what I would do. I like the idea of that. I think it'd be really fun. I just don't know if it's gonna look good. So let's get this thing hung up here and then I'll decide. We'll be back. All right, there's the front lip on this side. Now if we come over here, you'll see this was obviously made for a truck, so it doesn't fit. So what I think I'm gonna do is section the middle out and put this where I want it, and then we'll weld and do all of the crazy stuff to get it to work. I should also say this was not in the plan for the car. I just saw this as we pulled the bumper off and thought, hey, maybe we could use it. It's been up in my rafters since I built the 4Runner, and I'm ready to use it on something. So hopefully it works. Alright, then we'll take this one. Now we have two. And we'll set it up where we want it. Like that. See what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying now.
Stick them together. All good, dude. Something like that. Basically, we just cut it, moved this section in, matched them to level, and then screwed them together, and it's all kind of one piece now. Now we're gonna weld the middle. I did realize once we put it together that it's not symmetrical, which is kind of weird, but I'm just gonna roll with it, and if it bothers me, you know, we'll fix it or change it or whatever. But right now, I think this is gonna be really, really good. I think we're just gonna weld it over here. So I've got a lap joint here and then one on the back. I think I'm gonna weld this one and weld that one and then sand them smooth. Okay. You want to help me put this back on?
Yeah.
Sit in my lap. Cool.
Mom,
We made this.
I gotta go get my feet.
You know what this is from?
What?
This is from Parin's monster truck. The blue monster truck. This came off of that. Daddy made it fit his car. How cool is that? Alright, so there we go. Unplanned front valence splitter install thing. That's off of 86 4Runner. This is a 79 Corolla, so they're pretty much related. Now, another thing I've been working on off camera is, you guys remember the very first video, this thing stopped running on me, just randomly stopped in the middle of the video, and I could not get it to crank again. I couldn't even get it to like turn on inside the car. I found the wire that was the culprit. It was basically just a wire that just melted itself, and so I replaced it. My son wants in the garage. One sec. So anyway, I replaced the wire and got it to fire up again. However, in doing all of that, I removed the exhaust manifold and the gasket just totally destroyed itself. So there's a bit of an exhaust leak, but we're gonna be replacing that anyway, so no big deal. But I'll let it run for you guys so you can hear it. So as you can see, it's super loud now, but it also, hey, put that down so they can see the car. Ain't crazy? As you can see, it's super loud now, but it also runs, which is great. We know that it needs a carb. You're gonna hit yourself in the head and you're gonna be in trouble. We know that it needs, we know it needs a carb, so I'm getting one of those. We know this thing needs a carb, so I'm not going to worry about the idling issues and all that stuff right now. We'll deal with that whenever we get all the new parts for the motor. All right, let's start taking more stuff off.
You be all in your feelings. Been all in them trenches. Though they notice me flexing.
So this is a diffuser off of a Mustang, and it was given to me when I bought my MR2. The guy tried to fit it to the MR2. It didn't have any luck. We went with something a little bit more crazy for the MR2, and this has just been sitting in my garage for a really long time. Now, It doesn't suit the car quite as well as the 4Runner front lip does, but it's in here and I thought we might as well try it out and throw it in and see if it works. If it doesn't, I'm gonna throw it out for good. But I just cut this hole out to fit the exhaust so that it can actually sit up in there. I'll decide if it looks good enough for me to use, and if it does, we'll keep working with this. If not, we'll just throw this idea away. Let's try it. Here's where I'm at on this thing. I'm not sold on it yet, so I'm gonna leave it clamped to the back of the car. If I decide I like it in the end, we'll run it. If not, I won't. Where I'm at right now is if I was booting this car in a video game, I would 100% put this diffuser on. So that's kind of where my mind's at. It's like, why not just go for it? It's not that big of a deal either way if I put it on or leave it off, but I'm gonna let it sit there for a couple of days and I'll decide as I get to look at it some more. You know how I feel about diffusers. All right, it is a new day and I'm feeling much better today. We've had some crazy like spring allergy stuff going on and it just messes me up. So yesterday I was totally out of it, just did not feel very good. But we got some work done and this front lip looks really cool. I'm really excited about it. The diffuser is growing on me as well, so that may find its home on the back of this car. And we've got one more thing that I want to start on this video. I don't know if I'll finish all of it because I really want to take my time with this, but we'll at least start it, and that is all this damage. So this front fender is damaged, the rear quarter has a big dent and rust in it, and then there's some rust in the bottom of that fender over there, and I think there's some in the bottom of this fender, and some in the bottom of the other rear quarter. So we're gonna replace all of that. Now here's the big issue. Normally, if you have a car that's like pretty common, you can buy quarter panels and weld them in, or you can buy new fenders. Well, these fenders, I saw some pop up on eBay, I don't know, it was like probably 6 months ago, and they were $300 a piece, so 600 bucks for 2 new fenders, which is just not gonna happen. That was used, like they barely looked they looked a little bit better than these. And then the rear quarters are non-existent. So let me show you what I got. I went to a local hardware store that I'm not sponsored by, but they rhyme with Pose, and they have metal there, look, like small stock of metal. This is 2 foot by 4 foot at 22 gauge. 22 gauge is really thin. That's what that front lip was made out of, and it's easy to bend. It's easy to bend, so I'm hoping that I can take this and cut it into my shapes and fill in kind of the holes and the gaps. I also got this. Been ordering a lot of parts for this car, and so I've gotten a lot of cardboard. This is actually from a vacuum cleaner, not from this car, but I'm gonna be using cardboard to make templates for the fender, especially for the fender, because this is gonna be really difficult, and then for the rear quarter as well, to cut out of sheet metal. A large part of me wants to start right here, because I always tend to start with the hardest thing first, but I just don't think that's smart in the situation. So I'm going to start on the back quarter, which is also pretty hard, but not quite as complex, and we'll weld in some stuff there and try to get everything set up properly so when we get to this front fender, it won't be terrible. I hope. Let's weld some stuff. All right, so I started by cutting out just some samples of my 22 gauge, and I'm gonna use this to get the settings right on my welder. We're gonna be doing a couple of butt joints, some lap joints, trying to figure out how I wanna do this weld. Hey dude, cool jacket.
Daddy,
Yes.
what are you doing?
I'm making what's called a patch panel.
What are patch panels?
Well, see how there's a big dent and holes and stuff in this? I'm gonna make some new metal and we're gonna cut all that old stuff out, put the new metal in. Cool? Alright, so as you can see, we removed a giant chunk of the quarter panel, and I'm glad I did because of all this rust and opening, there was dirt, I mean just piled up inside of there. We vacuumed most of it. A lot of it ended up on the ground, but I think that's gonna be good. I'm going to lap this, so this is gonna go right over top that. And I'm doing that because I'm gonna be able to get better welds that way. It's not the best way, technically. A butt joint would be better where the two ends just meet up, but I feel more confident that I'm gonna be able to seal this up if I lap it, and then I'll probably fiberglass filler over it. Down here, you can see from years and years of water pulling up in this corner, we've got major rust holes down here. And I'm gonna have to fix that. The problem is this is a compound curve, meaning it curves this way and it curves that way, and that's really hard to make. So I think what I'm gonna end up doing is cutting out little sections and welding in little patches underneath here. I haven't decided yet. But first we're gonna throw this big panel in and get it kind of situated, and then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do with the bottom. Let's do it. It's in there and it looks pretty good. The shape of it came out really well. The welds on the top went out really good. They flattened out. I mean, this feels really smooth. The welds on the bottom, not so much. I tacked it and I didn't tack it close enough, so there was a gap I was having to fill basically the whole way. Not ideal, but we got it filled, and I think I can body work it out. Now, there are little rust spots down there that I think we're gonna have to fix with just small kind of square panels. I wish I would have thought to fix them earlier, so when I had this giant hole cut in, I could have just put metal behind there and welded around it, but I didn't think about it. So we're gonna have to patch some more into there, but we're gonna be doing that over the course of the next few videos. We got this patch panel, one like this on the other side, and then obviously that massive fender issue that we've got going on up there that we've got to do. So we'll just be doing that as the videos go on because it's kind of monotonous and boring. But I think this one came out really well. Now you notice I didn't finish this edge at all, and that's because we've got fender flares that just came in today, so that's gonna be the next video. And they're gonna dictate kind of what we cut out of here, because we will have to cut up, kind of up into here somewhere, so that we have travel and all that cool stuff with our new wide wheels. So, once we do that, we'll situate all of that. This was kind of a random video, none of it was planned. We had some parts we just had to wait on, but it worked out really well. We've got a custom one-off front valence now, a Mustang diffuser, and we got this patch panel in, which is great because we need this in for the fender flares that we're going to be putting on in the next episode. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was random. We've got a fender flare video coming up next, which is my favorite kind of video. So that'll be Tuesday. Sunday, Chase is going to be getting the Datsun running again, which is pretty exciting. So make sure you check that out on Sunday. And we're going to keep rolling on this thing. So once the fender flares are on, then we'll move to body working everything and getting it ready to be painted, which is pretty exciting. And we're also going to be working on getting it running properly again. So I've got to order some parts to get this thing actually moving under its own power. So it should be really fun, a couple fun episodes coming up. Thank you so much for watching till the end. The, let's see, the secret word of the day is going to be, wagon, because everybody loves a good wagon. Type it in the comments below to let me know you saw the whole video. It makes a huge difference for the algorithm. If you watch the whole video, it tells YouTube, the YouTube robot system thing that you liked it, and they'll put it out in front of other people. So thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. If you haven't subscribed yet, click subscribe. We're building this Corolla. We're also building an old Datsun 620 with an LS in it. So if you like old Japanese stuff, that's what we're doing on the channel right now. It's a very, very fun time to be on built, and we are wide bodying everything, which is how it should be. All right, hope you guys have a great week. I will see you Tuesday. Chase will see you Sunday. Bye.